Hey fam, what is going on, and welcome back to another video. If you guys are like me in Assassin's Creed and you enjoy stealth and you pretty much circle your entire gameplay around stealth, then this video might be for you. Today I'm going to show you guys a build that I've come up with so far early on that I think you guys will enjoy and will help you clear camps a lot quicker and kill multiple enemies at once, up to 3 enemies, and make you pretty strong in the assassination field, along with a little bit of hand-to-hand combat with your Tanto. I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, please be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If not, it's all good. We love y'all anyway. Let's get to the video. All right, guys, what is going on? So the very first and most important part of this build is going to be this tools master gear. Essentially, in order to get this gear, which allows you to throw 1 kunai if you have it in your inventory at the closest enemy after an assassination, you need to go over here. You're going to want to go to Katano Castle and you're going to want to liberate it. Once you liberate it, you will unlock that specific armor piece. Now, the reason this armor piece is so important, because for one, when you get an assassination kill, there's typically an enemy that's already close by. Especially in this game, you'll notice that the areas are pretty dense in population, so sometimes you'll see 2, maybe even 3, maybe even 4 enemies just all gathered really close together, and you're trying to think, how am I going to get them with my stealth style gameplay? Well, this is a really big help right here. So once you assassinate one, you immediately throw a kunai at the face of another one and typically kill them immediately. So this is where the build starts getting pretty synchronized. If you go under your assassin skill set, after you get to the 2nd tier, you will be able to unlock double assassination. Now, initially I thought, hell yeah, I'm gonna have double assassination, but does the kunai still throw after double assassination, or is it only applicable to 1 kill? Yes, the answer is yes. After a double assassination, you will still be able to turn around and throw the kunai and kill somebody that's close by. So if you have 3 people stacked up together, then you're gonna have 3 kills right off the rip if they're pretty like lower level enemies. Now, if you look in this area over here under hidden blade and you go up to the top right of it, you'll see assassination damage 1st tier. Now, once you get to the 2nd tier, which is the same tier as your double assassinate, so you already have that, now it removes 1 additional health segment with assassinations. Now, the word assassinations implies any assassination that you do, any kind of assassination. If you see this one, this says now it removes 1 additional health segment with ground assassination, so that's a little bit more specific. I always personally like the general stats, so if you get this one right here that says 1 additional health, it'll even help you with the fact that you are going to be getting a double assassination along with the kunai assassination. So being able to kill higher tier targets, especially if they're standing right next to a lower tier target, will allow you to actually get a double assassination, and then you'll throw that extra kunai right after. Another thing that's very important over here, you'll see Nightcrawler. Now, Nightcrawler is very strong. Even on the 1st tier, having just 6% increase in nighttime damage. A lot of the times you'll find yourself clearing out these castles, and if you're trying to be all stealthy, it does take a very long time. So you'll typically go through the cycles of the game and it'll be nighttime at some point. When it's nighttime, this percentage applies, from what I've seen, also to your assassinations, as well as if you end up getting in a regular fight, you'll be really strong at nighttime. Now, here is another part of your mastery that does synergize with this build as well: kunai assassination damage. Now, in order to get to tier 2 on each of these, I think I should just let you guys know, you need to get knowledge points. You get knowledge points around the world by uncovering and unlocking different destinations and learning and reading about them as well. So once your knowledge points get you enough knowledge points to get to tier 2, this is where these things will be unlocked. Now, kunai assassination damage, as you see now, it removes 1 additional health segment with kunai. That also applies to when your character throws that extra kunai from your assassinations. Now, as you can see, all of this is circling around that 1 piece of armor that throws that extra kunai. There is not 1 skill that lets you throw extra kunai after an assassination. It's only on the engraves. I did mention earlier that you will be using the Tanto if you like your Tanto, if maybe you like your katana, but what I found with the Tanto is that it is super helpful if you do end up getting into a little skirmish. So what I did was I get Shadow Piercer. Shadow Piercer does let you immediately, as you can see here, throw your Tanto and follow up with an immediate attack and make the enemy vulnerable. You know they're vulnerable when they're standing there in a dazed state and they're highlighted in yellow. This gives you a chance to let off a postured attack, as well as maybe even get into a position behind them that can allow you to do a little extra damage. And that's why I would highly suggest as getting backstab. A light posture attack that hits an enemy's back triggers weak point attacks. So using Shadow Piercer, your ability to get nice and close and then stagger them, and then using backstab after you roll behind them with a light posture attack will give you even another weak point attack to do that much more damage. And if you couple that with these over here, then it just becomes that much more insane. You have armor piercing and you have a backstabber that increases even more the damage from behind. Now, this also couples with increasing damage from your assassin, which increases damage at nighttime. So if you do all of this at nighttime, you're getting that extra damage buff on top of everything. You kind of see where this is going. Now, yes, the mastery is very important, but also what is also important is your engraves. You will have weapons that have 2 slots, but you might not be able to put anything in the second slot. You need to go to your homestead and you need to upgrade your dojo to level 2. Once you upgrade your dojo to level 2, you will be able to engrave your actual weapons. Now, in order to upgrade your dojo, you need to find the individual that Tomiko tells you to find. And after you find him, you will create a dojo for him. Then you level it up to 2 and you will be able to engrave your actual weapons. Now, this Tanto right here, Shinobi's Fury, is actually pretty amazing because it gives you weak point attack, which makes enemies vulnerable a second time. So as you saw in the mastery, my weak point attack with the light postured attack that you get from backstab here in the mastery under Tanto, this will give you a weak point that this weapon makes even better because they become vulnerable a second time after a weak point attack. So essentially, if you keep getting behind the enemy doing a light posture attack and staggering them, you can kind of keep them in a state of perpetual stagger and just do an infinite amount of damage and they can't really do anything about it. Now, I did put 10% damage reduction on the Tool Master's gear as well as 20% armor piercing on Shinobi's Fury. Now, if you are actually looking to get Shinobi's Fury, all you have to do when you go into your objectives and you find the league right here, you should have these 2 right here that you're hunting down early game. Once you go and find this individual right here to the left, the female, then you will unlock Shinobi's Fury. Another thing that I use to engrave is on my headpiece, I engraved 1 health segment removed from assassinations with kunai. So all of this stuff is synchronizing with this single piece of gear right here. All starts with throwing the kunai after your assassination. On top of taking a health segment with the assassination on the kunai will also remove an additional health with this mastery point right here under tools. You'll do extra damage at nighttime and you will almost be sure to secure a really strong enemy kill after an assassination or a double assassination with your kunai because of all of this stuff put together. Now, as you guys can see, the synergy in this game with some of the builds that you can make actually gets kind of crazy with this specialized engraving, with the different tools, with the different weapon sets, with the different armor sets that you can find around the map. It actually seems like it can be so much fun, and I've been having a blast just with this build alone. So if you guys actually want to try this out and let me know what you think, I would definitely love to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys have a different build that you're maybe working on and want to share it down below, I would love to hear that too. But anyways, I hope this video helped. If it did, please be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If not, it's all good. We love y'all. Anyway, I'll catch y'all next video. Peace.